Hi everybody, it's Leilani for God, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, I want to talk about Smokeyo Toni. I didn't plan on making any more videos about her, but that doesn't mean that I don't have a lot more information on her. You know, if you're gonna do like a video on somebody, never reveal all of your sources or your cards or whatever you want to call it at one time. And this is the reason why, because Smokeyo Toni came on my page today trying to drag me. I had to roast her, but now I'm really going to let her know what I really think. If you thought that I exposed you before, I'm gonna have to expose you again, Smokeyo, because you're out of pocket, okay? Now, she came on my page today saying to me, "You are so weird, LOL, these demons." And so I hearted her comment and I said, "You are a 60-something-year-old grandma online twerking horribly and smoking whatever that is that makes you spaz out. But I'm weird? It's funny how you showed up to real life productions dressed just like the lady gremlin in my thumbnail. Hair, clothes, makeup, in Jezebel's spirit. You nailed it." So I used this gremlin lady image for one of the videos I did on Smokeyo Toni, and a few days later she literally showed up online looking just like this. It was so funny. It was such a coincidence. But you know what they say, there's no such thing as coincidences. So Smokeyo Toni came back and says, "Lady, yo, I will be okay. I don't know this lady. I have no idea what she's talking about. And they want to eat off my name. Name a person that donated. I would love forget to show me a receipt. I've been doing this for 13 years. These people have nothing more to say other than with me cursing them out. And then they make up stuff. Girl, get your life together. Ha 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 ha." So I said, all you care about is money. I showed proof of you saying you raised $500 in donations and then showed us less than $100 in food for the homeless. I would have paid you $25 to curse me out and made it my ringtone, but you did it for free. Ha ha ha. So I don't know if Smokeyo Toni thought she was going to hurt my feelings or ruin my day, but this was much earlier today, and I didn't have time to do anything about it until now, which is like way later. This was like 8 hours ago or more. But I gave it some thought, and I said, you know what, Smokeyo, maybe you don't understand what it is I'm trying to tell you, so maybe I need to be a little more specific and clear with you. So first of all, this is what I was referring to when I said she showed up looking like the female gremlin. I used this thumbnail for Smokeyo Toni on one of my videos, proof that she's in the devil's network. A few days later, she showed up on Real Life Productions looking just like the female gremlin. The same lipstick, the same pink sweater, the same makeup on the eyes, the same color lipstick, the same messy hair, messy wig. It was so funny to me. I'm like, I wonder if anyone's going to catch on that she dressed just like the female gremlin. And it wasn't on purpose. Like, these are all coincidences or whatever. But the video on which she's now mad at me and leaving those comments, calling me weird or whatever, is the one I did where I said Smokeyo Toni steals homeless food donations, curses me out, and promotes, I don't know, probably pornography, which is what she does on her interviews. Now, the thing is, Smokeyo, I didn't make stuff up about you, all right? Because she said, all I can say is that she cursed me out, and then I made stuff up about her. No, Smokeyo, I didn't make up anything about you. In the video that I did about you stealing the donations, I talked about this video short of you. This is another one, a different one than the one I talked about in that video. This one says, Black China's mom, Smokeyo Toni, admits where your donations actually go. This is the same exact video short, just posted from a different YouTube account, in which Smokeyo Toni, you said out of your own mouth that when someone donates $250 to you, 220 of those dollars go towards your shopping for your hair, your clothes, and your nails. So I didn't make up anything about you. I just told people, here's where Smokeyo Toni exposes herself for stealing the homeless donations. I showed another video transcript where you said you collected $500 in donations, and then I took screenshots from that video where you showed where those donations went, and the food that you showed us did not add up to $500. So I didn't make up anything. I only showed what you said out of your own mouth in transcripts and screenshots. So I need you to take some responsibility and don't come over to my page starting any trouble, because you don't want the smoke. You really don't. All right, Smokeyo. That's what I'm going to call you from now on, because you always want the smoke. We're going to call you Smokeyo Toni. Okay, so I took the screenshot from her page today. She's changed her name to Leading for God. But she's back to, being demonic on her platform. It says here, Smokeyo Toni says, shut the fuck up or pay. That was just earlier today. All right. And she looks a little zoned out. Okay. Like, you don't know what she's going to do with the money. She says, don't say nothing to me if I don't know you. No tip, no talking to me, period. Okay, so I'm assuming that Smokeyo is desperate for money because she's separated from her husband, and that has caused her to be homeless. Kind of like what Jaguar's going through. They separated from their husbands, and now they're out there and on their own. Scripture says, Proverbs 25:24, it is better to live in a corner of the housetop on the flat roof exposed to the weather than in a house shared with a quarrelsome, contentious woman. It is better to live in the corner of a housetop than in a house shared with a quarrelsome woman. And both Smokeyo Toni and Jaguar have shown that they're quarrelsome women. And scripture is not in support of that behavior, which is why their husbands have separated from them. All right. Now on Smokeyo Toni's page, Miss Smokeyo Toni, 2 weeks ago, she wrote this headline, this title to this video. She wrote this. She refers to herself as Smokeyo Toni, the GOAT in her own lane, as she did the interview where I talked about that in one of my videos, Smokeyo Toni's 100% in the Devil's Network, wearing her Illuminati black, white, and red clothing on a major Texas radio network. All right. And the thing is that I wanted to point out is that she refers to herself as the GOAT. This was just 2 weeks ago that Smokeyo Toni wrote this headline to her own video on her own channel. Why is she referring to herself as the GOAT? 2 weeks ago. And then 11 days ago, it says Smokeyo Toni gets emotional and cries tears of joy for Blac Chyna removing Baphomet tattoo. All right. Now, Smokeyo Toni put on a big show. She cried. Jesus. She cried up a storm, and she acted like she was having convulsions about Blac Chyna having the Baphomet tattoo removed. But what is the Baphomet also known as? The goat. It has a goat head. Okay. So why is Smokeyo Toni calling herself the GOAT 2 weeks ago, and then 3 days later, or 1 day later, actually, what is this, 2 or 3 days later, she's crying on the internet about Chyna getting her goat tattoo removed? When you Google the GOAT Baphomet, this is the tattoo Blac Chyna had. Okay? So why is Smokeyo Toni referring to herself as the GOAT? Another name for this goat that these hollyweird people worship is Pan. Pan the goat. Half man, half goat. Okay? And Pan the goat is into all sorts of perverted forms of sexuality. Okay? Here he's depicted with an animal, and he's performing something to the animal's behind. All right? It says here, in ancient Greek religion and mythology, And that's what people in Hollywood worship. They worship the Greek religion and mythology, as well as the people who are in fraternities and sororities. They follow the Greek religion and mythology. Pan is of the wild, shepherds and flocks, rustic music, impromptus, and companion of the nymphs. So I want you guys to notice that the goat Pan that the Hollywood people worship, and notice how many people in Hollywood refer to themselves as the goat. And they try to say it means greatest of all time. No, it doesn't. It means you worship the devil. But let's pay attention to this word nymph, because that's part of what the goat, Baphomet, part of the lifestyle. All right. Then that's where we get the word nymphomania. And nymphomania means uncontrollable or excessive sexual desire in a woman. Nymphomania. The word nymph coming from one of the attributes of the goat. Okay? So if a nymph is a woman with uncontrollable sexual desire, look at Smokeyo Toni. Isn't that what she's known for? She was a stripper, and so was her daughter. Okay, Smokeyo did this interview recently, 2 weeks ago, on Real Life Productions. And I would bet money that Smokeyo influenced those women to take a picture like that. Let's all turn our butts towards the camera. Okay? Because butt penetration is part of the pan goat ritual. Okay? The devil is all about doing stuff to the butt. So Smokeyo Toni's there showing her behind. Not only that, removes her gremlin female sweater, shows her bra, shows her back, okay, shows her breasts. Nobody told her to open up her sweater. They asked her a question about if she had any tattoos. That's the word. They asked, did she have any tattoos? And she voluntarily opens up her sweater, her jacket, and shows that she doesn't have anything on underneath but a red bra. Why are you doing that, Smokeyo? They asked her another question. She lays back, throws her leg up. She starts talking about how she likes different types of, bedroom activities and things like that. All right. Black China says she loves her mother Smokeyo and credits her grandmother for teaching her how to be a lady. All right. So Black China said she loves her mother, but it was her grandmother who taught her how to be a lady. Scripture says, Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Okay? So Black China is saying her grandmother taught her to be a lady. Smokeyo didn't raise Black China up in the way that Black China should go. Smokeyo raised Black China up in the way that Smokeyo Toni decided to go. Smokeyo Toni decided to become a stripper, and that's how she influenced her daughter. Smokeyo Toni is the one who influenced her daughter to use her body instead of her mind to get ahead in the world. Smokeyo Toni is probably the one who told Black China to call herself Black China. Now Black China wants to call herself Angela White. But just like Smokeyo is using the Asian city Tokyo, so then China uses the word China so that they can appear to be exotic and, exotic strippers, exotic dancers, or whatever they call it. So in this video, it says story time. Smokeyo explains when her mother shot her in the head when she was younger for yelling at her. Now, I did see a clip. I didn't watch this short, but I did see a clip in which Smokeyo Toni was telling this story. And what I got from it is that Smokeyo Toni was verbally disrespectful towards her mother. And when she left her mother's house, wherever she went, there was a shooting, and Smokeyo was like a victim of a shooting, like an accident. But Smokeyo was saying it happened right after she disrespected her mom. So I don't think it's the case that the mom shot her, but she got shot like right after. So Smokeyo Toni hasn't learned her lesson because she was talking crazy to her mom and got shot. And now she spends a lot of her time online talking crazy about her daughter. Right? So when I was doing some research on Smokeyo Toni's background, in the last video I did on her, I realized that there was something off with the timing of her going to college and then going to the military. There was like a 10-year gap, and I thought that was strange. But I didn't really look into it then, but I looked into it now since Smokeyo Toni wants all the smoke. Let me take a closer look at the data. It says here that she was born October 12, 1969. Okay, born in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And what's interesting is the timing. So if she was born in 1969, it says here she graduated from high school in 1977 and later got a bachelor degree in 1981. So I talked about how she doesn't act like, a person who went to college and stuff like that. But let's talk about the timing. 1969, you were born, right? And you graduated high school in 1977 and college in 1981. If you were born in 1969, this would indicate that you graduated from high school when you were 8 years old and graduated from college when you were 12 years old. So these numbers are off. But that happens with people who are in Hollywood. They lie about their age, right? So Smokeyo Toni is probably 10 years older than the age that, she gives as her stage age. Like she has a stage name, Smokeyo Toni. Her stage age is 10 years younger than her reality. So I'm willing to bet money that Smokeyo Toni is probably not 52 years old, but 62 years old. On top of that, you see Black China is wearing lingerie in this picture, which Smokeyo Toni is the one who told Black China to wear lingerie in her public appearances instead of regular clothing. Because I remember Smokeyo did an interview and she was saying, oh, look at Amber Rose and all of these other women. Now they're wearing lingerie in public. They got that from me. So once again, Smokeyo, you raised up China to be a stripper, to wear lingerie in public, and to, basically sell her body, Anyway, it says that Smokeyo joined the military in 1991. Okay. So if she graduated from high school at the age of 8, went to college at the age of 12, then that means that she joined the military at the age of 22. Yeah, the numbers are not adding up. The math is not mathing. But, it's weird. This is the kind of stuff that goes on in Hollywood and why you can't really trust any of these people, because you don't know when they're telling the truth and when they're lying. But the fact of the matter is Smokeyo Toni is promoting an agenda that's really toxic towards young women. She's promoting prostitution of the female body. And the problem I have with that is Smokeyo Toni in her interviews, in addition to talking majority of the time about prostitution, she says she's an Israelite. But scripture says in Deuteronomy 23:17, there shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel. So Smokeyo Toni, you're not an Israelite. You're not in the community with your behavior as 60-something years old. You still haven't learned and grown. Okay? Angela White, formerly known as Black China, responds to Smokeyo Toni, seemingly wishing death on her. That's just the devil, she said. My name is Angela. That's not directed towards me. So Smokeyo Toni, just a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, went online and said, she hopes that God takes her daughter, Angela White, formerly known as Black China, takes her name out of the book of life, which means people who are going to heaven. Smokeyo Toni sat up on the internet and said she wants to take her own daughter out of the heavenly book of life. And That's just horrible. You know what I mean? And so Black China reacted saying, my name is Angela White. I'm not China anymore. So the fact that my mother wished death on me as Black China is not directed towards me. So the daughter is showing more maturity than the mother. The daughter is saying, I've changed and I'm moving faster than my mother. I'm ahead of her because I'm not even that person anymore that she's talking about and wishing death on. That's her problem, not mine. Right? So Candace Owens interviewed Black China a few days ago, says Black China found Jesus and quit OnlyFans. Everybody needs to find God. Jesus said worship God and God alone. So people don't need to find Jesus. They need to find what he said and apply what he said to your real life. But I also thought it was strange. Candace Owens looks like she got a whole bunch of fillers pumped into her face. Either that or maybe she's a clone now. But yeah, the face is not giving. The cheeks, the mouth, it's not giving, Candace, girl. Black China just took all that stuff out and you just put it all in. You might want to take a few notes out of Black China's book, Candace. Get all that stuff out your face, girl. Anyway, so, Smokeyo Toni, however, as Black China is quitting OnlyFans, which is prostitution, Black China's mother is doing interviews where she's criticizing Black China, right? But at the same time, Smokeyo Toni is promoting her own OnlyFans. Smokeyo Toni was saying she has her own version of OnlyFans, right? So Black China is actually, moving in a better direction than her own mother. She's maturing more rapidly than Smokeyo Toni is. All right. So here's a side-by-side picture of Smokeyo Toni and Frankie, Keisha Cole's mother. And it's interesting because in the headlines of both of these pictures that I took, it said, it referred to Smokeyo Toni as Black China's mother and referred to Frankie as Keisha Cole's mother. But these women have made a name for themselves and become, I guess, public figures because of who their daughters are. And both of them really took their daughters through the ringer in terms of them trying to give their mothers money and try to put them in a home and give them a car and put them in treatment and all types of stuff. And then the mothers just kept going back to that lifestyle. Unfortunately, rest in peace to Frankie. She passed away about a year ago from her drug addiction. And I just couldn't help but see Frankie in Smokeyo Toni when I watched Smokeyo Toni's interviews. Smokeyo to me looks just like Frankie now. It's something about the way the eyes are sunken in. And it's like, Smokeyo, you need to go to rehab. Get your life together. You're not going to be able to live in motels forever. Like at some point, you're going to have to put your health first, or you're going to wind up how Frankie wound up. All right. So get it together before it's too late, Smokeyo. All right. Keisha Cole put a lot of time and love and money into her mother, just like Black China has put into you, Smokeyo. So get it together before it's too late, because it's not a good look. This video says Smokeyo Toni intoxicated, rambling about Black China. All right? It doesn't look good, Toke. Got to take care of yourself. You're getting older. All of that anger and rage is bad for your heart. It's bad for your spirit. And it's bad for your mental health. So I'm making this video not to drag you or to get revenge, but to say you don't want the smoke with me because I can see right through you. Instead of trying to use the name Leading for God to make yourself seem like a better person, I want to encourage you to actually be a better person. And that's the reason why I created the Jaguar Right Smokeyo Toni Challenge, because I want you guys to take self-inventory and work on becoming a better person. All right? That's what I want for everybody. Just become a better person and grow closer towards God. All right, guys, thanks for watching and stay blessed.